Hey everyone, I'm going to take a look at the Player of the Week pack on eFootball. It came out on Thursday. I've been busy reviewing the other packs, so I've been a bit late with this one. It's a national one. We've got some international players from the past week. As always, I'll put timestamps in the description, so if you want to hear about a particular player, click the description and there'll be a link to take you straight to them. Let's start with first rated. We've got Yasin Ayari from Brighton. So it's the first time we've had a feature version of Ayari. He's been changed from his regular playing style of orchestrator to box-to-box. He's a centre midfielder. In terms of the boost from his GP card, he's had a big boost to his finishing and his physical and aerial strength. That's about it really. Apart from that, just a slight boost really from his GP card. Nothing too exciting. Skill-wise, they've had a bunch of skills added though. They've added soul control, long range curler, long range shooting, interception and block at the bottom there as well. So yeah, along with his existing skills, especially one-touch pass and through passing, we've got a pretty good selection of skills for a centre mid box-to-box here. But the attributes aren't too exciting, to be honest. He's okay on the ball. Passing is kind of okay. It's borderline. You're at least a +3 territory and low pass, but 88 fully boosted is not amazing for a centre mid. Attacking awareness isn't amazing. Defensively, the awareness is certainly not amazing. It's very poor defensive awareness. The rest of his defensives are okay. He can do a bit of defensive work, but not a great deal. That's kind of the story with this guy. He's kind of okay across the board. There's one or two a bit on the low side. There's one or two decent attributes, but it's nothing too amazing with him. He does have a good selection of skills. But I think it's just one of these cards where you can use him in the English League Challenge, so it might be one that if you pick him up, it might be worth having if you're lacking midfielders on A or B form in any given week when we get the English League Challenge. It could be a useful one to come in and could do a job for you. But it's not an amazing card outside of the English League Challenge as an option for that. I don't think it'd be getting into many people's teams. I don't think it's a particularly strong card. I'd like a lot of these attributes to be a bit higher. So it's not a terrible one, but he's barely a 5-star. I'm not going to say in just about every area. It's just not that amazing, really. So and no face gun either, although I'm sure I get one at some point. But it's an okay card. Maybe it's for the English League Challenge as an option for that, or if you're new to the game. But beyond that, it's not a brilliant one, really. And then we have a midfielder who this time is not a midfielder. So they've changed Curtis Jones to an attacking fullback and a right back. They've added right back as a position. He doesn't normally have that. It's not even semi-proficient on his previous cards. So it's the first time I've had a version of Curtis Jones that you can use as a right back. You can, of course, still use him as other positions. He's got a face gun. We've had a few versions of him as a midfielder. He's always a whole player centre midfielder. And the previous versions, the highlight cards we've had, like I said, none of them can be a right back, so it's hard to do a direct comparison. But if you had to use this one as a midfielder and compare it, pretty comparable, but you've got a more rounded build here. He tends to be a bit better kind of technically going forward on his highlight cards as a whole player centre mid, whereas this one he's got a bit more defensively and athletically and stuff. Compared to his GP card, that right column has had a bit of a boost athletically. He has been boosted. Likewise with his defending has been boosted a bit. Not quite as good on the ball, but that's because obviously they've made him a right back, so you can understand that in this case. And then skill wise, taken away flip flap, rising shots, Rabona, gamesmanship. I think we can live without all of those. They've added through passing, pinpoint crossing, man marking, interception. So we've lost 4 skills that aren't too important. We've gained 4 that really are. So that's excellent. The skill situations looking really good on Curtis Jones. Still got a lot of skills to help him going forward. Got those shooting skills. Soul control is a great one to have in a fullback. Through passing, pinpoint crossing when he gets forward, and then defensively man marking, interception. So you've got really good selection skills there as a fullback. And to be fair, as a midfielder, throwing in through passing in some ways that makes him more usable as a midfielder, to be honest, but obviously he's not quite as good in terms of the attributes going forward as his previous highlight cards are. So yeah, he's a versatile one. This one again for the English League Challenge could be worth having for that. It's just a question of how good he's in each position. So as a right back, pace is borderline. You can get away with that pace. I think most people prefer a bit more pace on a fullback, but he certainly could be slower. And then the physical strength, just about okay. Balance is decent. Stamina's good. So I think on the whole, down the right, he's all right athletically. Has had that significant boost from his GP card. Down the middle, he's not great defensively, to be fair. He's going to be a very attacking fullback if you use this guy. If you like a defensive fullback, I don't think this guy's going to do the job for you. But as an attacking fullback, you can probably get away with that. I would still like more, especially on the awareness and tackling. Those are the two that are a bit on the low side. So he is a bit lacking defensively, but it could be worse on an attacking fullback. And then down the left, looking very nice for a fullback in the 80s, all the way down here on the ball, on the passing. Really nice. So yeah, as a very attacking fullback, looks very capable with the skills he's got. Yes, he's defensively a bit lacking. Those two defensive attributes are the real concern defensively. But outside of that, as an attacking fullback, he is looking pretty decent. But in his normal positions as a centre mid, you've got a bit more defensive ability now, a bit of physical strength on him. And of course, you've got man marking, interception, as well as through passing. Would be nice if you had one-touch pass as well. Low pass isn't brilliant for any kind of midfielder, but at least you're in +3 territory, as with Ayari. So, yeah, like I say, on previous versions of Jones, the whole player centre mid highlight cards that we've had of him, you can make him better going forward, but you can certainly get away with his attributes, and he does have through passing. So, as a centre mid, you could use him. You could find him pretty useful there. Like I say, the middle and right columns, he has been boosted compared to previous versions, and then. As an attacking mid or as a winger, has he got the pace for a winger? Has he got the passing for attacking mid or the on-the-ball attributes? I would say probably not, but again, you can get away with him. You know, he's got some good skills going forward, and a lot of these attributes, you know, going forward, they might not be amazing, but they're passable. So I think it's a card where he's useful. You know, I don't think he's amazing in any position. I think as a very attacking right back, he could be very useful. In the middle, he could be a useful midfielder, wide left as well. I don't think he's amazing in any position, but for a player who I think is at least kind of useful, and you could say quite decent in a bunch of positions and can be used in the English League Challenge, I think it's the card that I would say is not necessarily the most exciting one. It's not an amazing card in any particular way, but for the fact he's got a few uses, he's got a lot of qualities, and some very nice skills added, I think it could be a very handy one to have. And I think if you get, for the English League Challenge, especially, if you get this card, it could give you some decent value, I think, on the whole. And next we've got Kramarić from Croatia. So they've made Kramarić a whole player attacking midfielder. He's got a face scan. Don't know how many more chances we'll get to get a decent Kramarić card. So if you like this guy, this could be a good one to pick up. So yeah, he's a whole player attacking mid this time. His regular position playing style are SS and deep lying forward. We've had a few highlight versions of Kramarić before. We've had a couple of deep lying forward highlight cards. I think one was from a Showtime pack, one was from a Legend pack. We've had a Fox in the Box version of him as well. It's quite a while ago in some kind of Croatia pack. All three of those highlight cards are pretty similar in terms of overall ability, but the kind of balance of the attributes is obviously shuffled around quite a bit. All got a slightly different profile to this one. And from his GP card, the boost that they've given him is basically the right column and his passing. That's really essentially where they've beefed him up from his GP card. He's got much better passing, and that right column, the athleticism, has been boosted quite a bit as well. So yeah, skill-wise, what they changed there. Skill-wise, so we've lost. Looks like we've lost chip shot control, rising shots, acrobatic finishing. That's a loss. That's a shame. Penalty specialist again. I forget who it was when I was looking at the Turkey pack yesterday. Someone lost the acrobatic finishing in that pack. That's frustrating because that's a good skill to have on a striker. But we have gained a double touch, heading. Through passing is new, and he's a super sub. I guess he must have come off the bench for Croatia. I didn't see the game, but yeah, we've got some good skills here. He's a super sub. Always nice to have a super sub on your bench, especially attacking players, of course. Super sub, it does basically boost your attacking awareness, and I think it's finishing. So yeah, super sub is a skill mainly for attacking players, so that it will be nice to have this guy on your bench. Could be a useful one. He's got some good skills as well. First time shot, long range curler. Long range curler is a very important one to have on strikers and forwards. Through passing, a very nice addition there. Outside curling, heel trigger, nice. Yeah, got nice selection skills on this guy. It's going to be a question of what position you use him in. As an attacking midfielder, yes, he's got through passing, but 83 low pass, is that enough? I'm not sure. I think I would much prefer him to be a bit higher up the pitch. You can still use him as a striker, even though you won't have an active playing style there, because the awareness and the finishing are pretty decent. Certainly the finishing, you'll get to the 90 mark. The attacking awareness is around about the same mark. You're not going to quite hit 90, but near enough. On the ball, very tidy for a striker. Passing, especially with through passing, very nice for a striker. Just lacking a bit of speed and physical strength really, but there's lots of qualities if you did want to use him as a striker. But I think for me as an SS, just behind the attack, it's his normal position. I think he'd be very nice there. With through passing and 83 low pass, I think his passing will be fine there. Fairly tidy on the ball. The awareness and finishing are good for an SS just behind the attack there. Again, you are lacking a bit of speed and physical contact. But on the whole, I think he could be decent as an SS. I think it's a decent card, this. Could be a useful one to have in your ranks. But the one big downside with this card, it's not going to be the only one in this pack. He doesn't have a club, so you can't use him in any league challenges. And he's not getting any live update outside of international weeks, of course. So that's a real shame there. The lack of club for league challenges, the lack of live update, that does go against him a lot. But just in terms of the ability, you know, the playing style and what they've done with the skills and all the rest. It is a decent card. It's not an amazing one, certainly not a top level card by any means, but could be quite a rare one for some people if you're a fan of Kramarić. He's been around quite a while now. Don't know how many more opportunities, like I say, we'll get to pick up a Kramarić card. So for a fair few people, it could be a pretty tight one to pick up. I think it's a decent enough looking card, but like I say, the lack of a club for league challenges and the lack of live update, a big shame. So real pros and cons with this one. Next up is Julio Enciso, who has been playing on loan at Ipswich from Brighton. Got a face scan. He's had the exact same change to his position and playing style as Kramarić. So normally a deep line forward SS, but now an attacking midfield with a whole player playing style. And we've got a bunch of positions we can use him in. So attack mid, SS, left mid, right mid, all those positions, it will be a whole player. But you can also use him as a centre forward or as a wide forward, left to right. Those 3 positions, he will not have an active playing style, but you can use him if you want to. I've had a previous Player of the Week version of him. Wasn't quite as good, to be honest. And also didn't have any wide positions, whereas this guy, as I say, you can use him as a wide midfielder or wide forward, left or right. And that previous Player of the Week guy didn't have through passing, whereas this one does. So this one is a bit better than that previous one. And I've just noticed they've made him a semi-proficient at centre midfield on a card you can't position train. Awesome. We've had a trainable version of Enciso. It was a highlight card in a recent national pack. That was a deep line forward SS, as he normally is. Overall, not quite as good as this one, but pretty similar, really. Not a massive difference. That's kind of shuffled around a bit. If you got that one, I'd say you probably don't need this one, but yeah, this one is ever so slightly better. And compared to his GP card, it depends on what position you train his GP card for, because obviously you've got a different position here. But depending whether you're training for AMF, SS, etc., he's basically got a nice boost across most of his stats, really. It's just a pretty nice even boost across the board as far as I can see. And then skill-wise, like I say, he's got through passing. That's been added along with soul control, very nice addition, and fighting spirit, which they always need to give attacking players. And the only one we've lost is flip flap. So yeah, on the whole, looks like we've got a pretty good selection of skills there. Soul control, like I say, is a nice addition. Then we've got long range curl, longer shooting, and fight, first time shot, 3 shooting skills there, and then through passing. 1 touch pass would have been nice, but at least we've got through passing for his 3 passes. Outside curl is a handy one as well. Fighting spirit, always a welcome addition on any player. But yeah, the one obvious concern when you start to look at the different positions and think about how good this guy is. Low pass 79. Yes, he's got through passing, but that's only going to improve his low pass stat, which is not high enough. As an attacking midfielder, his passing is not going to be good enough for me. Nowhere near it. Mid-80s minimum for me is what I'd want on an attacking midfielder, even with 1 touch pass and through passing. So 79, and he's not got 1 touch pass. I wouldn't want him as an attacking mid. SS, he might be alright. As a centre forward, attacking with 78, finishing 79, not happening for me. Again, those 2 attributes not high enough to be a centre forward in my opinion, even though he's fantastic in a bunch of other areas. But I think as a wide man, maybe he's not on the right, because I don't think he's got pinpoint crossing, has he? No, he's not got pinpoint crossing and lofted pass only at 74. So as a right footer, I wouldn't want him on the right, but I'm looking at this guy as a left winger, as an inverted winger. I think as an SS likewise. I think either as a left winger or an SS, he's got pace, got a bit of kicking power behind his shots. He's got those shooting skills, and his finishing will go over 80 with the game plan boost. Good balance, not got a great deal of physical strength, but with the pace and the balance and good on the ball attributes, I think he'll be fine. I think he should feel pretty nice on the ball. He's got a reasonably low centre of gravity. Attacking wise, he's going to hit 80 with the game plan boost with the whole player playing style. That's good. And the passing for a wide man or an SS, I think is fine, especially for a wide man. So yeah, this guy is pretty handy. I've already done my free spin, as you probably noticed at the start of the video. I got Güler. I was hoping for either this guy or Maignan. This guy does look decent to me. I really fancy him as a left midfielder with the whole player playing style. He would work really well for me in my kind of tactical setup, my formation. Didn't get him unfortunately, but if you do get this guy, like I say, I think wide left as a left midfielder primarily, or maybe as a left wing forward if you don't mind the lack of an active playing style. In fact, just as I say that, I realise you've got SS, of course. So what you would do if you want him as a wide forward instead of as a wide midfielder, make him an SS, just position him as a wide forward, set his position to SS instead of a left wing forward, and he'll have that whole player playing style active. I've done that before on players. It seems to work just fine for me. So yeah, you could use him as a left midfielder or wide left SS, or as an SS just behind the attack, and I think he could be pretty handy. Like I say, it looks like he's going to feel pretty neat on the ball. He's got a bit of end product, and for the English League Challenge, bit of versatility in terms of overall ability. I think he's pretty handy looking. So yeah, this for me looks like one of the more appealing cards in this pack, and I was a bit disappointed not to get him. I think it looks like a pretty tidy one. Next we have a booster. We've got booster Antonio Nusa from Norway. So we've had a couple of highlight versions of Nusa previously. without the boost activated, they're pretty similar in terms of overall ability. Obviously shuffled around a bit, but when you activate the boost on this card, it is a bit better than those two highlight cards. So we get low pass, lofty pass finishing, kicking power, what's that, offense creator, accuracy. Okay, we've got the accuracy booster, yay. So yeah, nice that you get that booster, but one thing you've got to say with this card, he's not got a club affiliation, and he's only going to get live update in international week. So how often are you going to get that A-form boost? Not very often. So that's a bit annoying. That's a bit of a shame. He's got a face scan, this guy. From his GP cards, had a big boost to his end product even before the boost is activated. They've not nerfed him on the ball, and they've not nerfed his balance either. Incredible. We've got an attacking player who's not worse at attacking in those areas, at least. And yeah, they boosted his end product, so looking good with the boost. The boost is defending, of course. Lost a little bit of pace, but it's still quick enough. Bit of a boost to his kicking power, bit of a boost to his physical contact. Yeah, pretty nice boost overall, to be honest. He's looking pretty tidy, quick, good kicking power behind his shots, decent balance, pretty nice on the ball. Got a bit of end product, similar to Enciso, to be honest. Not too dissimilar, the overall profile, really. What's happened skill-wise? We've lost, I think, Scotch move, dipping shot, and gamesmanship. I think we can live without those. We've gained long range shooting, first time shot, through passing, and fighting spirit. So yeah, he does have a pretty similar profile to Enciso, actually, apart from the fact he can't play him through the middle. But we've got a good selection of skills here. Soul control is a nice one. And we've got long range curler, long range shooting, first time shot. Got through passing, got pinpoint crossing. Yeah, good selection of skills on this guy. He's got a bit of end product in terms of the attributes. He's not got a great cross on him, so I don't think I'll put him on the right as a right footer, but certainly on the left. I think he's pretty tidy. Similar story to Enciso, really. You can't play this guy through the middle, but wide left, whether it's left midfield without an active playing style, or left wing forward as a prolific winger. Quick, decent balance, on the ball and end product. It looks pretty tidy. It's just it's a tidy guy. It's just the fact that you can't use him in any league challenges. And of course, you don't get live update apart from international weeks, albeit he could join a team that's that gets live update in the summer. He's rumoured to be moving somewhere. I think Napoli have been looking at him, a few other teams as well, so he might get live update next season, to be fair. That's something to consider, but as it is, not getting any live update apart from international weeks, so that A-form boost is not going to happen too often. But he's already decent with the end product for a wide man, and like I say, he does look like a tidy card. It's just it's a question of how much use you're going to get for him, because you're only going to really use him in divisions or in maybe a Norway squad if you do a Norway squad. But yeah, certainly in terms of the overall ability, though, looks pretty tidy, similar to Enciso. Even though you can't play him through the middle, you can play him on the left, and as with Enciso, I think as a left winger, an inverted winger, he does look like a pretty tidy card. Next we have Oyarzabal from Spain. These days he is a deep lying forward, centre forward. He used to be a creative playmaker. I think left midfield was his registered position. He's got a face scan. I've had a version of him since early on. I think it was maybe a Sociedad pack. I got a version of him, and then I got one from a nominated contract pack. He's quite tidy as either a left wing or behind the attack. Now he's a deep line forward. I'm not as keen on his playing style, deep line forward, but you could play him on the left without an active playing style. You could play him attacking mid without an active playing style. And some people do like deep line forward. Certainly, I feel like it's a bit better since the most recent update to the gameplay. And a lot of people do like the playing style. So yeah, depends on what kind of playing styles you like and what kind of position you'd want to put this guy in. But he's versatile. I think he's one of these cards at the bar where you got a few uses for him. He doesn't look particularly exciting in any particular position, but he's a handy one. You can use him in the Spanish League Challenge. It's a decent version of him. I put his weaker for accuracy up one. So we've got that for a start. What previous versions of him are quite a few. We've had a Player of the Week booster card, pretty similar overall. The boost does make that one a bit better than this one though. And we had a Player of the Week left midfielder with the whole player playing style. They had better dribbling, but apart from that, just about everything's better on this card. So this one's a bit better than that one overall. And in terms of highlight cards, I think almost all of his highlight cards have been a creative playmaker. Like I say, left midfield, and they're mostly pretty similar overall. Stats kind of shuffled around a bit. You can't train them though, so you can probably make some of those cards a little bit better in certain positions, but not a lot of difference overall though. He's had one highlight card that was a centre forward, deep line forward like this one. That was a freebie. I think that was when Spain won the Euros maybe. It's not quite as good as this one. It's got more balance actually, but apart from that, you got a bunch of other attributes on this card which are higher. So on the whole, this is a better card than that one, albeit you can't train it. From his GP card, where's he been boosted? Got more speed, we've got more physical contact, bit better on the ball, nice boost to his passing, We've lost 3 points off balance. I'm tired of ranting about that. But yeah, that's about it really. Just a fairly tidy boost, and like I say, you know, he's not looking amazing anywhere really. I don't think anything about this card really stands out as being great, but he's looking decent pretty much across the board. It looks like a very, very useful, versatile card. Skill-wise, they've taken away Marseille turn. I think some people will be a bit disappointed about that. Penalty specialist and captaincy, I think we can live without those two. What have we gained? First time shot, that's a very good addition on any attacking player, especially a centre forward. Outside curl, that's a handy one. Fighting spirit, of course, on an attacking player. So yeah, got good session skills there. Long range curler would have been a nice one. But first time shot, one touch and through, pinpoint crossing. Yeah, you got most of the important skills for a bunch of roles there really. It's just a question of what role you want to use him as. A centre forward, the attacking awareness and finishing high enough, borderline. He's pretty much good pretty much everywhere else though for a centre forward. Behind the attackers, an SS or AMF is a kind of number 10 playmaking. He's got one touch and through, low pass 85. Is that high enough? Probably as an SS. As an AMF, that's borderline. Wide left, is he quick enough? He's got a bit of end product, he's alright on the ball. And then wide left, likewise, not the quickest, but technically he's pretty decent. Yeah, it's not the most exciting card, this one, but you've got a bunch of ways you can use them. I think for most people, for that Spanish League challenge, you would, I think for most people, you'd find there's at least one or two roles you'd be able to use him in where he could give you some value and be decent for you. But I just don't think he's that exciting in any role. I don't think he's a particularly exciting striker, playmaker, winger on either flank, but certainly a decent one. I have always liked him. He feels pretty nice on the ball for me, the versions I've had. So, yeah, it's one where if I did get this card, I'll be pretty happy. I would not complain, but it's not the most exciting version of him. I prefer a highlight version to really make him particularly great in one specific position. But as an all-rounder, versatile, a few ways you can use him for the Spanish League challenge. He could certainly be a pretty handy card for a lot of people. And we got our next booster, and it is Mr. Ronaldo. So, got a face scanner, of course. Let's activate the booster straight away. What do we get? Attacking awareness, ball control, finishing, attack acceleration. That's Striker's Instinct, I think. Yep, Striker's Instinct. So, yeah, another Ronaldo card. We've had plenty. We've had a bunch of Player of the Week cards. When the booster's activated on this card, this is up there with the best Player of the Week cards. It's a pretty good version. Obviously, the Player of the Week cards always get shuffled around a bit, the stats. One in particular has a different profile. There was a deep line forward one, which I think had a nice boost on his low pass. But, yeah, in terms of overall ability, with the booster activated, it's up there with the best. But, the question is, how often is he going to get that booster? Like with Nusa, you know, no club affiliation. He's only getting A form in international weeks, so not sure how useful that A form boost is going to be. Still a decent version of him even without it, though. Obviously, we've had loads of other versions of Ronaldo. Obviously, the Showtime versions are better than this one, goes without saying. In terms of the other highlight cards, we've had better ones, so this one obviously isn't the best, but yeah, again, with the boost activated, it compares pretty well to previous highlight cards. It's just how often you're going to get that booster. Not that often, unfortunately, but yeah, compared to particular ones, I know there's certain ones that most people will always want to compare them to. There's a one from the penalty game, which a lot of people have. There's a recent freebie from that Portugal and English, Portuguese and English players pack, the campaign we just had, with the boost activated, pretty similar to those cards. But if it's not boosted, I think you're better off just keeping on those highlights. So I imagine most people have got at least one of those two, the free ones. I will keep one of those. You can train them. You can put skills on them. It's not to say this isn't a good version. Just like I say, if you're not going to get that A-form boost very often, yes, it's a decent version even without the A-form boost, but most people have a free version at least of Ronaldo by now, if not a better one, in which case you probably wouldn't need it. But if you don't have a version of him for whatever reason, it's definitely a decent one. It's not a bad version at all compared to his GP card. We've lost 6 points of attacking awareness, but when we get A-form, we at least get 3 of those points back. Not much change with his ball control or his finishing, but they get boosted on A-form, so with the A-form they are a bit better than his GP card. He's had a few points stuck on tight possession and passing. We've lost 3 points of acceleration, but again, we get all those 3 points back when he's on A-form, which is nice. We've lost 1 point off balance. Why? Apart from that, though, most of the right column's been boosted a bit. And his defending's been boosted a bit, of course. Excellent. Anyway, skills. We've lost knuckle shot. We've lost penalty specialist. We've gained long range curler and one touch pass. So 2 good additions there. Ronaldo with long range curler, very interesting. We've got long range shooting already. Acrobatic finishing, first time shot, heading of course. Yeah, long range curlers on Ronaldo. decent finishing, bit of curl, some good kicking power as well. With your maximum game plan boost, you get 90 kicking power. Yeah, it's not a bad version of Ronaldo at all. This, like I say, looking at it in isolation, even without the booster, it's a decent one. You know, I'd like the awareness and finishing to be a bit higher. I'd like a bunch of the attributes to be a little bit higher. Certainly in a goal pledge, I'd want more pace, but especially on A form, pretty tidy looking. It's just a question of, you know, what version of Ronaldo do you have? If you don't have a version, it's obviously always great to have one, so it'd be great to pick them up. But if you have a version already, I'm not sure there's many versions that I would say this one's really better to have didn't word that very well, did I? But yeah, even the 2 freebies, if you got one of those, like I say, not a lot in it, but I would personally just stick with one of those freebies because you can train it and put skills on. I don't think there's a lot of difference, and I just don't think you're going to get that A form very often, that A form boost very often on this card. So yeah, it's another version of Ronaldo basically. You know, the stats are shuffled around each time, especially with Player of the Week cards. Long range code especially is a very nice addition skill wise. And if you don't have a version of Ronaldo, it could be a fantastic one to pick up, especially on A form, but I don't think you'll get A form very often, and for that reason primarily, I think whichever version you've got already, assuming you've already got one, which most people do, I would probably stick with that. But certainly in isolation, it's just another good version of Ronaldo. It's not a bad card at all. And next up we have Cristian Romero. We've had a bunch of Player of the Week versions of this guy. Destroyer as always, got a face scan. Only standard form. You can use him in the English League Challenger because he plays for Spurs, at least for now. A few rumours linking in with, I think, Atletico Madrid. He might be leaving, I guess, but this card will always be usable in the English League Challenge. It's kind of middle of the road for a Player of the Week version of Romero. I've had quite a few Player of the Week versions of him, like I say. There's been one or two a bit better than this, at least slightly higher rated. The stats get shuffled around a bit each time. One or two not as good though, so yeah, kind of middle of the road for a Player of the Week card. If you've got a previous Player of the Week version of it, you might have a better one. And in terms of highlight cards, similar story really. There's been one or two that go slightly higher rated. Obviously the highlights are all trainable, but apart from those two that are slightly higher rated, pretty much par for the course really. It's a solid version of Romero from his GP card. It's a pretty bog standard Player of the Week centre back really. As I've been saying for a while now, they just seem to do the same thing every time. They don't do much with their defending, albeit they have nerfed his defending a bit. But it's still strong enough. You're going to be in the 90s for all 4 of those with your maximum game plan boost. But the real boost is just pace, stamina, and passing, really. Like I say, just the bog standard Player of the Week centre back boost. That's what they always do. Very boring, but it's a good centre back card. Skill wise, they've just thrown in one touch pass. It looks like it's the only change they've made. You've already got pretty much a complete set of skills for a centre back, I think. So got heading and air superiority, man marking, interception, blocker, sliding, acrobatic, captaincy, fighting spirit. Yeah, great selection skills for a centre back. One touch pass, a welcome bonus. And yeah, as a destroyer, it's just a good solid centre back really. Those defensive attributes are good. He's strong defensively. Like I say, with your game plan boost, you go 90 plus for all 4 of those. That nice boost to his pace means he's reasonably quick for a centre back. Jumping's pretty decent. Only 6'1" though, so 6'1", jumping going up to 90 air superiority. He's not going to be amazing in the air, but he'll be fine. It'll be okay. Physical contact. Shame you're not going to quite hit the 90 mark with your game plan boost, but it's decent. I would like to be a bit higher. Physical contact is very important in the game these days. Stan's been boosted a bit as well, as is always the case with this player with centre back. So yeah, not a great deal to say really. It's not the best version we've had of Romero, but it is still a good one. If you'd like to destroy a centre back, he's solid. He's defensively strong, physically in area. He's decent, not amazing. No, pace is pretty decent for a centre back. Great selection skills. It's a good solid centre back, and for that English League challenge, could be a very handy one to pick up if you've not got a version of Romero already. So yeah, not the best version of him, but it's still a good one. It's a good solid destroyer centre back that. And now we have our final booster. We got Nuno Mendes. We've had a few trending versions of him, a few Player of the Week versions from the Champions League especially. The two best versions, which I think are the two most recent ones, are pretty much the same level as this one, unboosted. And then when you boost it, one of those two has a booster. Same situation. He goes to the same level as that one when boosted. So it's on a par with the two best previous Player of the Week versions of Nuno Mendes. Looking very nice. And he's at a similar level to his better highlight cards as well. Obviously a slightly different build. The highlight cards tend to just they tend to have more on the lower body. They always nerf the lower body on these fullbacks in Player of the Week for whatever reason. It is strange that it's almost to kind of accept to acknowledge the fact that you don't need as much pace as the auto allocation gives you on a trainable card. But yeah, for whatever reason they do always nerf lower body on Player of the Week cards. So there's slightly different build, slightly different balance of attributes and highlight cards. But in terms of overall ability, similar level to his better highlight cards. But I think with the booster activated on this card, on the whole, I think this is a preferable card. I think it's about as good a version of Nuno Mendes that we've had. We have lost a bunch of points off his pace and his balance and stamina, but we get some of those points back when he gets the A-form boost, which is generous. But we've got plenty. Like, even without the boost, you've got enough down that right column. You just get even more with the booster. You've got enough down the middle defensively and then down left as well. It's a very good looking left back card. Apart from the points I've taken away from a bunch of those athletic attributes, he's had a pretty decent boost just about everywhere really. Just the kicking power is down 1, but yeah, everything else has gone up a bit. Like I say, looking like a very nice left back card, this, as it always is when doing a Mendes. Got his face scan, of course. Attacking fullback, got a bit of everything, and then skill wise made a few changes skill wise. What's the booster called? Agility. There you go, you've got the agility booster. Yeah, skill wise we've lost a few. We've lost cut behind and turn, low lofted pass, and acrobatic clearance. That's a shame. Acrobatic clearance is a nice one. I mean, they could have got rid of long throw, surely. If you're going to get rid of one, maybe long range shooting. But yeah, we've lost acrobatic clearance. Apparently, he couldn't do an acrobatic clearance in his game last week, according to Konami. But what have we gained? Through passing, nice addition. Man marking, likewise. Fighting spirit and blocker. So yeah, some nice additions there. So defensively, man marking, interception, blocker. I'd love to have all 3 of those on the fullback. Slide and tackle as well. Fighting spirit. And then going forward, through passing, pinpoint crossing. Long range shooting, if you're ever going to do any shooting with your fullbacks. Soul control, nice one to have. You've got a really nice touchless skills here on an attacking fullback. And you could put a defensive instruction on him. If you prefer defensive fullbacks and use him as a defensive fullback, I think you could do a job that way. He's not too strong defensively, but he could do that job. But I think especially as an attacking fullback, like I say, he's got just about everything. There's nothing really lacking there. The low pass isn't great, but they have given him through passing. He's going to be decent on the ball. Crossing will be decent. Defensively, they're all going 80 plus, so defensive attributes, so that's fine on an attacking fullback. And like I say, even without the boost, the speed and acceleration going over 90 with the game plan boost, balance will hit 80, stamina over 90, but with that boost when he's on A-form especially, very, very nice. This is a really good left back card. It's right up there with the best version we've had of Mendes. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Showtime version at some point, and I imagine that'll be a very beefy card. The one real downside with this card is that you don't get a league challenge you can use him in. Sure, you can use him in Unlimited, you can use him with the Portugal squad. He's definitely good enough to use in most modes in the game. Even for divisions, I think it's a very good card. But yeah, no league challenge to use him in, so that is a bit of a shame. But apart from that, he obviously gets loads of good form for PSG. He's been playing so well, one of the best left backs in the world. And it's a really good card. So even without the A-form boost, it's a really nice left back card, but especially when he's on A-form, it's great. In terms of other positions, centre back, not a chance, not good enough defensively or physically. Left midfield, maybe he's not brilliant on the ball. He's not got great end product. I don't think I personally put him left wing. I think he's going to very much a left back, but he's a very good one. So lack of a league challenge, bit of a shame, but outside of that, everything's looking great. This is a really nice left back card. Now for our goalie, and it is the best version of Maignan that we've had, apart from his Showtime card. Got a face scan, of course, AC Milan, so he can use me in the Italian League Challenge. Unwavering form, some really good stats there. Like I say, his Showtime card is the best version we've had of Maignan, but to be fair, his Showtime card's only slightly better. Even if you put the 4 points from Ariel onto one of his goalkeeper attributes and shuffle him around and retrain him, it's not that much better than this card, really. He does have much better jumping, of course. They always nerf the jumping on Player of the Week goalies. They're still doing that for some reason. But yeah, outside that Showtime card, which is slightly better, he's as good as any version we've had. It's the best version we've had apart from the Showtime, really. There was a previous Player of the Week from when he played for France in an international week. It wasn't far off this one, but this one is slightly better. And I don't see any highlight cards as good as this. It's a really good goalie card, this. Everything except for powering is going to go 90 plus with your maximum game plan boost. They put a nice boost on his catching and his reach from his GP card. So yeah, powering's not the best, but everything else is great. 6'3", good size, physical profile, just lacking low punt. But we've got high punt, long throw, penalty saver, captaincy. Really good goalie card this. You can use him in the Italian League Challenge, use him with the France squad. I think he's good enough to get in most squads for most modes, to be honest. It's a really good goalie card. I'd be very pleased if I'd have got this one. It was either Maignan or Enciso for me. Those were the two that I wanted, so a bit disappointed I didn't get him, but yeah, it's a very good card. Looks like he might be joining Chelsea, although that fell through for the time being at least, so he might not get many more Maignan AC Milan cards, but yeah, it's one of the better versions of Maignan that we've had. It's a very good goalie card, this, especially for the Italian League Challenge, but just in general, really good goalie. And we finish up with Arda Güler. This is the one I got for my free spin, and I would love to tell you what I think of him, but I've not used him yet, so I can't. But I do like him based on previous versions I've had. I've got the most recent Turkey pack. I've got that version of him. That's a Classic 10. I love the Classic 10 playing style. I've trained mine as an SS as well. I like to use him as an SS as a Classic 10. Very nice for me. But he's a creative playmaker this time. It changed his playing style. So it's normally a Classic 10, now a creative playmaker. For some people that'll be good, for some it won't be. I prefer Classic 10 personally, but I think a lot of people would like him as a playmaker. He's had a few Player of the Week cards already, Güler. This is the best one, although there was a recent Real Madrid one that's a right midfield hole player that wasn't far off. So if you got that one, you might not need to spin this one. He's got a face scan, of course. He eventually got that, took him ages. He's had a Showtime cards. It was in some kind of Turkey pack. That's obviously the best version I've had of him. But apart from that, this one, I mean, to be fair, this one, there are a bunch of attributes on this one, for example speed, which are actually higher than the Showtime version, so that Showtime is not better in all areas. Maybe worth keeping that in mind. In terms of other highlight cards, they're all Classic 10, and they tend to be a bit better on the ball. Otherwise technically quite similar, but what we've got here that the other highlight cards don't have, we've got more lower body, we've got more physical contact, we've got more defending. So yeah, it's a different profile to other versions of Güler. It's not a straightforward case of better or worse, but it is certainly one of the better ones in terms of overall ability. Compared to his GP card, we have lost a bunch of points on the ball. Bit of a shame there, especially ball control. Just one higher on ball control. We were able to get 90 with the maximum game plan boost, but we're looking pretty tidy on the ball there. We lost 1 point off low pass again. That's so annoying. Why do that? Is it really going to make that much difference? You know, just that one extra point and you get to that lovely 90 mark and get into the blue when you get your maximum game plan boost. Why don't they want us to do that? Just give us that 1 point back. We've lost 4 points off lofted as well. Why? We gained 5 points on finishing though, so we've got a few points there. Put a big boost on his defending. That's really useful. What else have they done? Nice boost on his physical contact. That is helpful. And his lower body attributes, so he's got more speed than he normally does. We're +3 territory for speed as well, so speed will go to 88. That might be the quickest version of Güler we've had. That's great. Good acceleration as well, and balance, both of those hitting 90 with the game plan boost. So yeah, in terms of his agility, certainly one of the better versions of Güler, if not the best. And that makes him very usable on the right. I'm not sure if he's already got right midfield on his GP guard. I'm just going to quickly check that in the background because I had to position train mine to play right midfield. He does. Okay, so they changed out on his GP card at some point recently. Fair enough. But yeah, as a right midfielder, looks very usable actually, and through the middle. It's a decent looking card. This, I'm looking forward to trying him out actually. Skill wise, what they've done. Skill wise, we've lost Marseille turn again. A lot of people like that. That might be a shame for some people. We've lost Sombrero. Cut behind and turn. Some people miss that as well. But we've gained first time shot, track back and interception. Okay, so he must have done well defensively for Turkey because they give him a nice boost on his defensives, his physicals, and we've got track back and interception there. So yeah, nice bonuses to have there. And like I say, Marseille turn and cut behind and turn. I think those two skills, some people will be disappointed to lose, but slightly different profile, of course. That's what you get with these Player of the Week cards. We've still got a very nice selection here. Soul control, obviously a nice one to have. Long range curler, especially if you play him on the right and have him cutting inside off that right flank onto his left foot. Long range curler, very nice one to have. First time shot, likewise. And his finishing is going to be hitting 80, so you can have a decent shot on him cutting in off that right flank. One touch passing, through passing, pinpoint crossing. So he's got the passing if you're playing to the middle. It is a shame. I know it's only 1 point difference. It's nice to hit that 90 mark, even just for aesthetic reasons. But he does have decent passing. Whether that passing's high enough for you as an attack midfielder, maybe, maybe not. For me, it'd be okay. I would like it to be a bit higher. But yeah, I think what you basically got here with Güler. And before I go any further, centre midfield, not happening for me. Yes, they boost him a lot defensively and physically, and he's got interception, but is he good enough defensively or physically to play centre mid? Absolutely not. Not for me. He won't have an active playing style as well, which will bother a lot of people. Not everyone know. But I think this guy's definitely either an attacking midfielder or a white wing. I think attacking midfield would be nice just to hit that 90 mark ball control and passing, but you're only 1 point off it. He is going to be pretty tidy on the ball. He's going to have pretty decent passing. The attacking modes and finishing are decent enough as well for an attacking mid. Got a decent amount of pace and balance, certainly for an attacking midfielder. For a wide man, maybe you'd like it to be a little bit quicker, but I think it'd be very usable on the right as well. My version of Güler feels pretty nice on the ball. I've used him on the right. without an active playing style has been quite nice for me. I always say I don't personally like a creative playmaker out wide, but that's personal preference. You might do, but certainly in terms of the ability, I think he could be a very decent option wide right or through the middle. Good selection skills, more agility than he normally has. Obviously more defensive and physical ability than he normally does, and he's technically still pretty nice. So yeah, wide right or through the middle, especially for that Spanish League challenge. Maybe you rock a Turkey squad, but even in divisions, your strongest team, he could do a job for you there. I don't know. I've not tried him yet, but he does look like a very decent card. And like I say, either as a number 10 playmaking in the middle or wide right cutting into his left foot. It looks like a very tidy card. I think quite a few people would be very happy if they get this card. So there's your national player of the week pack. I think that's a decent one, to be fair. I think Güler's a good one, Maignan's a good one, Mendes good, Romero is a solid centre-back. Ronaldo, yes, it's quite a good card, but does anyone really need it? Oyarzabal could be a useful one. Nusa looks tidy. It's a shame there's no league change or live update apart from international weeks. And Ciso looks like a tidy one to me, especially for that English league change. I would have quite liked that card. Kramarić, not the best card, but it's a decent one. It's tidy. I don't know how many more opportunities we'll get for a Kramarić card. Curtis Jones could be a useful one. Not amazing in any position, but I think he's got a few ways you can use him for the English league change, especially. Could be a very useful card to have. Then Ayari, again for the English league change, could be a useful centre mid option if you're desperate. I don't think it's an amazing card though. So yeah, I think for a player of the week pack, it's decent. I don't think it's amazing. It's been a long time since you had an amazing one. But certainly there are a bunch of cards in there that are pretty tight looking, to be honest. So it could have been worse. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on this pack. Be interested to know you guys' thoughts. Let me know who you spun as well. I'm looking forward to trying that Güler card out myself when I get a chance. I'm going to review the English Player of the Season, Premier League Player of the Season pack next, and we're not sure when that's coming out yet, either tomorrow or Thursday, presumably, because it's already on the database. So I'll be reviewing that one next. If it comes out tomorrow, I'll try and get that reviewed tomorrow. And I'll review the Showtime players as well. We've got that, where is it? Showtime, whatever it's called, Club International, Club World Cup, Doodah thingy pack. These ones, I'll review these next because it looks like Thursday, I think, is when we'll get enough objectives done to get the selection contract. So Premier League Player of the Season, and this one will be next two videos, I think. And I'll try and do 1-2 streams at some point when I get the chance as well. So yeah, cheers for watching as always. Hope I'll see you soon for a stream or a video, and I'll see you soon. Take it easy.